About a heartbreaking story, a child abuse investigation out of Cobb County. Two parents are now facing some serious charges after their 5-year-old son died. Marietta police say that Alexis Etrim and Michael Horn called 911 Sunday night and said that they had been performing CPR on their son for several minutes. Officers say when they got there to the scene on Ramona Street, the boy was lying on the floor unresponsive with visible injuries.
It was obvious. There were visible, obvious signs to first responders when they arrived that something was immediately wrong.
Well, the child was eventually flown to the hospital where police say that he remained on life support until he was pronounced dead this morning. The parents are now expected to face upgraded charges, and police say the Division of Family and Children Services is now taking custody of their other 4 children. Well, just coming into the newsroom tonight on 11Alive Plus, the former mayor of South Fulton has now pleaded guilty in a criminal trespassing case. A judge sentenced Khalid Kamal to 1 year probation and also ordered him to stay off social media. The misdemeanor trespassing charge stems from a 2023 incident where prosecutors say Kamal broke into a lake house on private property. By the way, he was unseated in the most recent mayoral election.
I'm Chase Howell in Fulton County, where Milton police are still looking for rapper Lil Jon's son, Nathan Smith. If you look behind me, you can see where 2 police officers are standing after they just got done searching the perimeter of this lake here at Mayfield Park. They also searched the woods nearby. And then over here, you can see where police cruisers are lined up down the street. And if you look a little bit further down, you can see where Smith lives. And over the last hour or two, I've seen several police officers going in and out of that home where Smith lives. Now, Wednesday afternoon, police also put up their drones to search for Smith, who was last seen running out of his home on Baldwin Drive off of Mayfield Road around 6 a.m. Tuesday. Now, in a statement from Lil Jon's team, they asked for privacy and prayers for Nathan's safe return home. Now, I have reached out to Milton police for any updates on his disappearance, and all they can tell me is he has still not been found. In Milton, Chase Howell, 11Alive News.
Chase, thank you. Let's get to our weather impact forecast with meteorologist Daniel Moss. So the rain has moved out, but I guess the cold is heading in, huh?
Exactly. That's exactly right, Ron. We are looking at colder start for tomorrow and a colder day overall. Here's a look at our current satellite and radar. All of the heavy rain is out of metro Atlanta. We do have a few lingering showers that are moving near 575 in Cobb County. And then as we take a look here along I-20 East, everything is starting to clear out. So all of the heavy rain will be moving completely out of the state over the next few hours. Here's a live look into the airport this evening. Overall, our temperatures are already starting to fall. Currently, it's 49 degrees. The winds are also picking up because it feels like 44 out there. We have a 13-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the west-northwest. We are anticipating the arrival of a cold snap for your Thursday. In fact, as you take a look at our temperatures in Nashville, it's 33 degrees right now, 46 in Montgomery and 41 in Charlotte. Overall, we're really going to start to see these temperatures really sinking down. We are also still struggling with some visibility in some places. In fact, over in Athens, visibility is less than a mile. In Dalton, less than 6 miles. A clear day is 10 miles of visibility. And as you take a look into our Athens camera, you can see how foggy the skies are. So just remember those low beams. You have to go out for any dinner plans this evening. And really in the next few hours, if you live next to a body of water, it doesn't matter where you are, you could be seeing some light fog develop. We're not looking at a dense fog advisory by any means, but even Thursday morning over in East Georgia, portions of Athens and Gainesville right along that 85 corridor really could be seeing some of that dense patchy fog start to develop. So just remember, take it easy and allow a little extra time for tomorrow morning. Also, we could be seeing maybe some wraparound showers leading into some flurries for tomorrow morning. So just another heads up for you. We will be mostly dry throughout the day, but we're talking about colder weather. You can see 9:30 a.m., 31 degrees. Have more details on that and look at that 7-day forecast.
Okay, Danielle, we got some breaking news just coming into the newsroom right now. Another Georgia congressional seat will soon be open. Republican Barry Loudermilk, representing Georgia's 11th congressional district, which covers parts of Cobb, Cherokee, and Bartow County, says that he's not going to run for re-election this year. So he posted all of this on his website. Loudermilk has served in that seat since 2015. He's the 4th member of Georgia's U.S. House delegation, all Republicans to announce a departure this year. Marjorie Taylor Greene retired, and Buddy Carter and Mike Collins are running for U.S. Senate.
This case is not only about Fulton County, it's about elections across Georgia and across the nation.
Tonight, Fulton County is going to court looking to get back those 2020 ballots that the FBI seized. And this is a story that we've been following very closely, right? So 1 week after FBI agents raided the Fulton County election hub, county leaders are now announcing their next move. 11Alive Doug Richards has more.
We don't know where they are. We don't know really who has them.
Fulton County Chairman Rob Pitts says the county wants back the 700 boxes of 2020 election ballots and records seized last week. FBI agents raided the warehouse where the county had stored them, documented by this newly released body cam footage worn by local police also on scene.
We don't know what they're doing with them. Are they being tampered with?
Pitts says the extraordinary raid raises questions about the ballot's ongoing security, and the county wants the federal courts to order their return.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation had every right to come in.
At the Wednesday Fulton County Commission meeting, most public comments sidestepped the raid, but Maria Gaudio didn't.
Those ballots belong to us, not to you. And we want our ballots reviewed by somebody who's competent and capable.
This is bigger than just what appears to be the confiscation of our records.
Pitts says he thinks the raid was a pretext for the federal government to try to seize administration of the next presidential election.
This is, I think, probably the first step in whatever they're going to do in order to depress voter participation, voter registration, making whatever changes they think are necessary to help their case in 2026, but more importantly, in 2028.
That was Doug Richards reporting for us tonight. Now, Pitt says he does expect arrest, perhaps including himself and maybe even state officials. Coming up next on 11Alive Plus, we have an update on the Gwinnett County police officer's recovery after he was shot in the line of duty. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Today marked day 3 of Edric Faust's murder trial. He's accused of killing a UGA law student, Tara Baker. Now, Baker was killed back in 2001 after investigators say that she was sexually assaulted and stabbed, with her apartment then set on fire. Well, today, jurors heard from a woman who says that she was near Baker's apartment that day while working for her family's tow truck company. The state played her original interview from 25 years ago, where she described a suspicious man in the area. And they also put up a sketch of who she says she saw that day. Well, the defense is arguing that it was not Edric Faust. And you can watch the full testimony right here on 11Alive Plus and stream our continuous coverage from inside the courtroom. Well, tonight, Gwinnett County Police are giving an update on an officer's recovery who was shot in the line of duty. Officer Pradeep Tamang and Officer David Reed were responding to a call at a hotel in Stone Mountain on Sunday when police say a suspect opened fire. Officer Tamang was killed and Officer Reed was critically injured. 11 Alive's Marissa Sarbach has an update tonight from police headquarters.
Ron, Gwinnett County Police telling us MPO David Reed is still recovering at the hospital tonight, but he is doing well, all things considered. Of course, they say it is a long road to recovery, but the department is hopeful he'll make a full recovery.
He did undergo surgery last night and to remove the bullet that Kevin Andrews shot into his face on February the 1st. The doctor was very happy with the progress that he's making and how the surgery went.
As you can see, there has been an immense outpouring from the Gwinnett County community for MPO David Reed and fallen officer Pradeep Tamang, whose funeral is on Saturday morning. Corporal Angela Carter says the department is dealing with a mix of emotions, from sadness to shock to anger.
This shouldn't have happened. I know there are officers really struggling with this. What a lot of people might not even understand is when an officer down call goes out, it's called a 63. It doesn't just go out in that district. It goes out through the entire county, pretty much through the entire state. So at that time, there were officers that were actually having to work and hear their brother down.
There is a fundraiser for the fallen officer's family. We have the details for that on our website, 11alive.com. Reporting live in Gwinnett County, Marissa Sarbach, 11 Alive News.
Marissa, thank you. By the way, just once again, Officer Tamang's funeral is set this Saturday. And as for the suspect in the shooting, Kevin Andrews, he's facing multiple charges, including felony murder. Well, today, staffers at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution learned who will be affected by the sweeping layoffs there. The AJC says it plans to cut about 50 jobs, reducing its workforce by about 15%. Now, most of those cuts are in the newsroom, which printed its final paper at the end of last year. The AJC's president says that the layoffs are all part of a move to grow as a digitally only publication.
Well, today was another relatively warm day, even with the clouds and the rain. But tomorrow we're tracking another cold day with higher winds that could only feel like 37 degrees. Have more details on what you can expect coming up after the break.
Well, tonight we're learning just how much fuel spilled from Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport last week. So the Environmental Protection Agency says 10,000 gallons spilled into the airport's storm water system and the Flint River. 11 Alive's Galat Malamed spoke with neighbors in Griffin who said that their water still smells even though the city says it's safe to drink.
It looks like normal water and sounds like it too, but Karen Melchior Holmes says the smell is more like
kerosene, WD-40.
She first noticed the foul-smelling water at her Griffin home Sunday morning.
Sickening. It was very strong.
On Friday, the city issued a do not consume water advisory. The city says it issued it as a precaution following the fuel spill at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport that the EPA tells 11Alive News dumped 10,000 gallons of fuel onto airport property and into the Flint River. Griffin receives water from the river. The city says the Environmental Protection Division told them later that day they could lift the water advisory since no fuel samples were found in testing. Melchior Holmes says while the smell's gotten better, she's still
just been using bottled water.
On social media, the city manager says all the samples the city took from residents' homes and intake plants came back negative.
So that meant then that the fuel that was spilled at the airport did not reach our intake.
The EPA says as of Tuesday, contractors removed more than 8,000 gallons of fuel from the Flint River and airport property. But as long as Melchior Holmes' water smells, she's sticking with these bottles.
There's way too many people in Griffin that are having the same issue.
In Griffin, Gilad Malamed, 11Alive News.
You know, the EPA says that it's going to continue to work until its oil cleanup goals are complete. All right, let's get back, talk about this weather here with Danielle. So, you know, I kind of put away my parka here for a minute, but I guess I need to keep it handy, right?
Yes, you need to get it back out, Ron. We're not done with winter just yet. Keep those coats handy because even as we go throughout the next few days and our temperatures get a little bit warmer, it's still going to be some cold mornings to get through as well. Here's a look at our current satellite and radar. The rain showers and the cloud cover we had, we're starting to see some of it clear out of here just a little bit, but we do have some more backdoor clouds that are trying to build in behind this front. Rain showers, heavy rain showers on the way out of the state of Georgia. Here's a look into Midtown tonight. You can see that it is definitely cloudy and we're getting a little bit of fog developing here in the city as well. Over the next 4 hours, our temperatures will be into the 40s overnight tonight. Not too bad, but just remember our temperatures will be dropping tomorrow. We're only going to have highs into the 40s. You want to make sure that you wear multiple layers and that you are prepared for it. In fact, as we take a look at our forecast track for tomorrow, we could even see some wraparound showers that could lead into some very light snow flurries in northeast Georgia. So no, we're not looking at any accumulations, and no, we're not looking at any huge impacts, but we do want to tell you that in case you see something falling from the sky, it might be just a flurry or two. As we continue to put our forecast track into motion, that cloud cover will move off to the east and we'll have a lot of sunshine coming in behind it. But unfortunately, the sun is just going to be there looking pretty tomorrow. We're not going to actually be feeling much warmth from it because when you factor in the winds, it's only going to feel like the upper 30s. So make sure you are prepared for that. It's going to be a cold day once again across the area. Now, highs could get to 47 degrees. It all depends on that cloud cover here in metro Atlanta. Rome may be at 50, but that's just kind of being optimistic here. Here's a look into the airport tonight. Things are definitely dry out there. After we continue to dry out, we are anticipating that cold snap for tomorrow, but then we will be seeing warmer temperatures as we head into the next few days. But here's the trade-off with that. We will still have some very cold mornings. So it's very important that you remember to wear layers in the next few days. Don't just get caught up in all the sunshine and the warm air. We're definitely going to have a cold start. In fact, as you take a look at your low temperatures over the next 5 days, both Thursday morning and Friday morning, it could be near 29 degrees. Same for your Sunday morning. By Monday morning, we warm up just a little bit. And that's thanks because we do have a lot of high pressure that's coming our way, and we're going to be seeing a lot of above average temperatures in the next 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Here's a look at 7-day forecast for you. 47 degrees for tomorrow. It will be a very cold start. Temperatures rising to the upper 50s for your Friday, but that's not before we have a few more cold starts. In fact, you can see Sunday morning, maybe even around 27 degrees. So make sure you wear those multiple layers. Even though those highs will be getting to the upper 50s, it will feel nice throughout the day, but definitely cold in the morning time. And then as we head into your Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we have a chance to get to 70 degrees. So have to keep our eye on it because we are tracking some rain showers, and we're definitely not supposed to be that warm. We should be into the upper 50s, and we'll be there, but 70 degrees will feel great. We just have to watch that weather behind it as well, Ron.
I'm just going to have to pull my parka back out of the closet, at least for the next couple of days. Okay, Danielle, thanks a lot. Hey, we got a live look right now, Hartsfield-Jackson at the world's busiest airport. Now, have you ever snagged a cheap flight and then watched the price go up with every little fee? Well, you're not alone, folks, but we do have some good news. A new report from NerdWallet A study shows that Delta is actually one of the best airlines when it comes to keeping those fees low. The study also looked at two of the most common fees, checked bags and, of course, seat selection, and it found that most airlines actually charge about the same for the bags, with JetBlue just a little bit higher. And there's much more diversity on the seat selection charges, and Delta is leading the pack as the cheapest. And, you know, you're a former flight attendant,
yes.
So you know that what that industry is all about. I don't know. I just don't kind of trust it, because it seems like it's like playing darts on a dartboard. You may get a low fee, you may not.
Exactly. And you know, a lot of people look at the discount airlines like Frontier and Spirit, and they say, wow, these tickets are so cheap. But after you add in the seat selection, you add in the bag prices, you're going to end up paying close to what you're paying on Delta. So that's why they're saying, like, okay, Delta has, you know what you're getting up front.
Right.
You know what you're paying for.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about Frontier and Spirit, I've seen people left behind at the gate before, Ron.
What?
I know. You don't have that money to pay for that bag, they will leave you.
Oh, Lord, that would be bad. Yes. You have to pay extra just for a seat and maybe a seat belt, too?
Yeah. The seatbelt is included.
Just nickel and diamond
but
a
to
person.
Select your seat, yes, you have to pay extra for that.
Okay. Hey, it's just what we have to do.
I know.
Hey, coming up next on 11Alive Plus, how some Georgia lawmakers plan to cap property taxes, this time without a legal loophole. All right, so tonight we're going to be speaking one-on-one with the Fulton County Commissioner after a week of news surrounding the Fulton County Jail once again. So from a scathing overcrowding report to concerns about damage from yet another case of flooding, 11Alive's Molly Oak asked the county leader what can realistically be done.
Just days after 70,000 gallons of water dumped through 3 floors of the jail.
It just continues to contribute to the breakdown of the facility, of the continuing dilapidated conditions here at the Fulton County Jail.
The facility faced more scrutiny when the ACLU released a 30-plus page report calling overcrowding at the jail a crisis.
And there are 70 people sleeping on the floor of the jail today. So if that isn't a crisis, a state of emergency that we should be dealing with on a daily basis, I don't know what is.
Today, I talked with Fulton County Commissioner Mo Ivory about what can be done, given Fulton County already passed its budget last month.
So money was taken out from the jail consent decree at our last meeting, as well as from registration and elections. And then only less than a week later, we had a crisis in both of those areas.
Ivory says there are 2 ways to get money into the jail: modify the budget or declare an emergency so they can pull emergency funds. But she says that's easier said than done because of division among the 7 Fulton commissioners.
I am part of the 3 that can't get much passed, I am very frustrated. A lot of the issues that we have are based on our lack of funding in the correct places. It's not so much a lack of having the money as much as it's where the money is being allocated.
That was Molly Oak for us. So we did reach out to Fulton County Chairman Rob Pitts for a response to Ivory's comments, and we're still waiting to hear back. But he did speak with us over the weekend concerning the flooding. Pitts said that there is already a plan to renovate the jail and build a medical facility right next to it. And he added he'd rather do that than spend billions of dollars on, quote, a country club prison. Well, this week, state senators passed a bill that promises property tax relief for Georgia homeowners. Back in 2024, Georgia voters passed a floating homestead exemption, so it basically caps the increase in property value to the rate of inflation. But the bill left room for counties, cities, and school districts to opt out of it, and a July report from Georgia State University showed that many of them did. So Senate Bill 382, which passed on Tuesday, would make the homestead exemption mandatory and now is headed to the House. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. Tonight, athletes are preparing for the beginning of this year's Winter Olympic Games. Our very own Shore Preheim is in Milan tonight and posted this video online showing Athlete Village.
Here's something you don't see on TV. We're inside the athlete village in Milan, Italy. This is the biggest of 6 athlete villages. Because the Olympics are spread out over northern Italy, there are 6 different athlete villages, but 1,700 Olympians stay here, including more than 200 from Team USA. You see the flag right there, the rings. This is like the center spot where everybody takes pictures. Well, let me show you some of the buildings. So you see how they hang flags in the distance off the different balconies. That's where how you know who's staying in which building. But this is like home away from home for about 2 weeks. And in the distance there, that building, that is where they fuel up. That's the cafeteria. Can you imagine how much food they're serving every day in that spot? Cool to see sort of behind the scenes where all the Olympians from all the different countries get to hang out in between their events.
And don't forget, 11Alive is your source for all things Winter Olympics.